Okay, here is a little run through of some techniques that you can use for your core. So I'm going to start with techniques when you're lying on the floor, which you can use for dead bugs, for toe taps, etc, etc. So when you come to lie on the floor, hopefully you haven't got a dog trying to get in your way at the same time. So you're lying on the floor here, so you can practice just lying on the floor here and then putting your pelvis up and down to get to that neutral spine, and then you're pushing your back into the floor as if you're pushing down onto a, trying to keep a piece of plate paper flat, or you're trying to keep a £50 note in its place. Now from there, you should be able to feel your core feeling nice and strong. If you're doing toe taps, for example, you would bring one leg up at a time and trying to get your legs parallel to the floor. Hopefully mine are there. You can hold on to a weight behind you or hold on to a sofa to help you. Now here, you've got to make sure that your back isn't going to be coming off the floor. Drive your back into the floor, and then for this position, when you're lying on your back, you can tap your toes. If that is too hard, you could just start by raising one leg at a time, and you'll feel your tummy working. So positioning on your back. So you might have toe taps, you might have dead bugs, you might have a V-pass when you can pass a cushion to and fro your legs. And all these movements here, if anything is too hard, shorten the lever. So your legs are your lever. So for example, if I was passing a cushion to and from, I can bend my legs and shorten the lever, or I just go even less with the movement. And I'm just making sure my back is not driving off the floor. If your back drives off the floor, you're going to feel it and it's going to hurt your back. And we don't want that to happen. So we want your stomach to be working. Actually, go away. Apologies for the dog entertainment. Okay, so that is the one for your core. For flexion, when we're coming up into a sit-up, so we're here. Now your sit-up is when you're coming up. So for example, a sit-up pass through, a sit-up twist. But we don't want to be jerky, we want to be under control. So when you're starting off with this one, you could put your hand underneath your head and you can just support your head and just come up, and you're just flexing side to side. And you will get stronger and stronger. With the sit-up pass through, you could pass away underneath or just come up ever so slightly to your leg. So we're getting that flexion, the shortening of the muscle as you're coming up. And then soon enough, this will get easier and you'll find you're able to move with the movement much more. Okay, so we've gone through lying on your back, which can be also the figure 4 as well. We've gone through the flexion. And so let's go on to the front in the plank positions. So in the plank position, you can either be on your hands, if you prefer, and come down to your knees, or I'd say most of my demonstrations are on the elbows. So for a stationary plank, you'll see most of my demonstrations for the modified plank are on knees here. And when you're having a modified plank, you're trying to get your shoulders, your hips and your knees in line here, so you're nice and straight. If this hurts your back, raise your back up a little bit and it should alleviate it. Hold it as long as you're comfortable too, and then ease it off. If you want to go full, you might hold it for a few seconds, 10 seconds, and then maybe put one knee down, other knee down, or you might find I just need to ease it off and then come up. So really go with this movement as you want. If it hurts your lower back, it's probably because your hips are too low and you just need to raise your hips up a little bit up there. Again, work with it. It does not want to hurt your back. It wants to be strengthening your core. And then there's a lot of plank combinations that you can do when you're coming onto your hands. So in this position, you're having your shoulders, your hips and your heels all in line. If you're doing, for example, shoulder taps and that was too high, too hard, go on your knees. So you can still do the different combinations or even tap your hands, and you work with it as you want to. So you can shorten the lever by coming onto your knees or even coming back more into a box position. But you want to feel your trunk, your core working and stabilizing. If it hurts your wrists, sometimes it can help by holding onto 2 dumbbells. So there's less pressure on your wrists. so you can come here to hold on. Then that's really up to you. But if you have any other problems, let me know and I'll help you. Hope that helps.